The company's CEO telling Bloomberg's Romaine Bostick that they have content for both for both big spenders and savers. I'm pleased to say that fresh off of speaking with the company's CEO, Romaine joins me now around the desk. Romaine, really great interview you had with the Macy CEO here for Bloomberg News. How does this mean their turnaround is? Is it on track? Is it complete with this type of earnings?
Well, it's certainly not complete, but I think by the sheer reaction, I think investors are growing a little bit more confident. Remember, Tony Spring just took over as CEO back in February of 2024, so it hasn't even been a full 2 years. There are a lot of doubts about his ability to turn around what is essentially a big legacy business, particularly with the Macy's brand itself. Remember, Bloomingdale's is also under this. They've been doing well for a while. Tony actually used to help run that company, that side of the company. Blue Mercury, another component of this business, also doing well. But we know Macy's as Macy's, and that's been struggling. And what he's done is shut down a lot of stores. He's taken about 125 other Macy's stores, completely revamped them, tried to make the shopping experience better, make them more aesthetic, create more experiential things in them. And at least for right now, it does appear to be paying off. You're seeing that in comp sales growth. It was a big surprise this quarter. Most people were expecting a flat quarter, even a down quarter. They came in at about 1.9%. If you just X out all of the businesses that they're closing, that's good. Now, this is still a company that's in decline. It's just that decline is now slowing.
Well, trying to do a turnaround in best of times is hard, and it's certainly not the best of times. You have retailers like Macy's having to contend with changing consumer appetite and especially tariffs. What is their strategy going forward to try to make sure that they can maintain margin with some of the higher prices maybe weighing on them?
Well, they did provide some insights, the idea that they're getting about a 40 to 60 basis point hit on margin, specifically from the tariffs. While he did say that they did raise prices in some areas, he did say they're still holding price in others, though he did indicate that that could change. I think one interesting thing that he talked about was the ability for Macy's to negotiate with the suppliers. Remember, this is a behemoth of a retailer, so they do have some flexibility. They also have private label brands. These are things they make themselves. The tariff costs are much more impactful there. They said they're doing their best there to also reduce that cost. And you saw that in the most recent quarter. Expenses were lower, inventory was lower, and you saw a better product mix that actually helped to boost sales in particular categories like women's apparel, which they have been lagging in.
What does all of this say then just generally about the consumer at this moment and their willingness to spend and maybe eat some of the price increases?
Well, he talked a lot in my interview about the consumer being more surgical, more choiceful. This also came up on the conference call, the idea that people are sort of making choices about what to spend. But in the quote that you used, that was a key quote that he used when I spoke to him in the interview. This idea that they offer something for everybody. They offer something for the higher end consumer and something for the lower end consumer. And he thinks that that could be the strength of Macy's. And maybe that's where they are. Because remember, this has been a story about identity. I mean, what is Macy's? What is a department store, particularly in this environment? He seems to think he's found a way, and at least for today, with that 20% pop in the shares, investors seem to be somewhat pleased.